Welcome to the Wake Forest University Criterium. This is the second day of this race, Sunday. First day was a road race, and the main takeaway from the road race is this team here, Velocious Sport, brought a ton of dudes, marked me, got away. Aaron went early. You'll see Aaron a little bit later, but he's in the rear cam there. And yeah, plenty of dudes here today too. You saw them right there. Everybody in the red pants on the same team, Velocious Sport. I'm going to jump on the wheel of Hamlin here, who runs a team right there. And first corner, we already have Eli attacking. I saw him from the right and jumped onto his wheel immediately. Eli was staying at my house, so we had actually ridden to the race before that, and we barely made it to the race, but hopping on his wheel here, we had gotten a great warm-up, riding tempo for like the hour before the race to get there in time, and we did. Onward to Velocious Sport attacking with even more guys here, and this is Aaron, who's away for the entire road race. He went like 50 miles to go and stayed away with his guys tagging everything, so I know he can stay away for a long time, so I'm gonna do my best to jump on his wheel, pedaling through these corners because high bottom bracket on that cyclocross bike, and was able to catch back onto him here through the start finish straight. A bit of a headwind through the start finish straight, but it would die down throughout the race. There on my wheel was Nico, and then we're coming back through to another segment of the race. Another guy still off the front, plenty of attacking. They combined us with the Collegiate, so there was much more animation in this race with that full Collegiate crew. You can see the ACCCC leader on my wheel there in the yellow, and I am going to bridge up to yet another breakaway with yet more Velocious people, being Aaron once again. Early animation. That Maryland team would spend a lot of time attacking and going off the front, and it actually led them into a breakaway. But you can see here I'm still pulling pretty hard on the front. There's guys still off the front there, and I want them back. Not quite ready, only 15 minutes into this race, to let a breakaway go without me in it. So I'm going to keep pedaling pretty hard, and that breakaway is likely to come right on back. Actually, that one is the one that Nico, right there, just bridges across to, and it is the beginning of the final breakaway. So that is that. Nico is bridging across to that guy up front. That was maybe the hop fly guy, but there were Collegiate guys in the break and also two Velocious Sport guys in the break. Nico's in there now, and then a little bit later on we're going to see another bridge across, but you can see Velocious, old Zach here, just sitting up on the front, and I've already done a pretty big effort to pull back that first little part, so they're going to do their best to block on the front here. Got three guys wide. They're not going anywhere, and the rest of the field seemed totally content to let that happen. So this guy on the blue here was one of the exceptions, and right around this corner he is going to send a move. I'm a little boxed in, but not enough to have the excuse. Eli follows him, and that is the winning breakaway of 4 with Eli and Nico both up there. Guy in the blue and one other from, I think, Collegiate. So I'm pretty much just in the field racing for whatever place. We had a few attacks here by John Hamlin, who also was not ready to let the race just go away like that. Even though his teammates are off the front, he's not pulling anybody back up to him. Another attack from Velocious. As soon as I would do anything, though, the field was strung out, and holding onto my wheel felt kind of marked, as is normal in these local style races. But yeah, there's some guys off the front here. Velocious Sport just gonna do a little bit to keep that pack together, keep it slow. I wanted to stay fast though, so I'll come through. We have a little gap, so I'll keep pushing over through these little chicane corners. I like this because I, again, could pedal through on my cross bike, where it was pretty hard. You'll see it a little bit later, the ACCC champ not being able to pedal behind me. So we've got a little breakaway here. I am going to hop on Caleb's wheel, and it was always shut down. Anytime Velocious was in that break, they would shut it down. I wanted something to go because don't really want to field sprint with the Collegiate team, so I would attack again, and Aaron was on my wheel pretty quick. Have a little bit of a gap here, so I'm going to keep pushing on, trying to catch stuff, trying to keep the pace high. There's only 30 minutes left, and then Coleman right there would send an attack followed by a Maryland guy. It was getting pretty animated, but nothing really was sticking. Just kind of trying to patrol stuff. I ended up filtering to the back of the pack, and then sometimes stuff like this would go. Thought it would take more power than it did, but I was able to go over the top, have Caleb on my wheel for Velocious, so this might be promising. We're pretty tired at this point. You can see my heart rate's getting up there, but we have a gap, and so I want to keep pushing through. This is going to be a recurring theme. I want to keep pushing. We have a Velocious person in the break, and they're going to completely shut it down. So once I look back here, I do have some space still, so you can see my power there is pretty good. Continuing to push hard, and then flick my elbow through for Caleb, and he just does not pedal at all. The other guy was probably a little tired from that first attack, and so it would string out, come back together, but this time I did not want to let that happen. So I'm figuring those guys are both tired, and I attack yet again. Again, Caleb's right on my wheel, having not really touched the wind in any meaningful fashion. So here we are, 20 minutes to go. Weird field splits were starting to happen, and I wanted to bridge across to this. And so I did on this little bottom section. There was enough of a wind, like a crosswind, that it made sense to like send it in that section, and a lot of the breakaways or a lot of the attacks were happening there, although none notably that actually stuck. So here I am back on this little group coming through the chicane. Field is kind of flowing back together. At this point, I had a front camera malfunction. Let me know if anybody has seen this happen before, but front camera audio was fine and nothing happened on the video. So we're just going to go to the rear cam, and here we have rear cam footage for the rest of the race. You can see John Hamlin there, Velocious Sports. He's giving me a little wave in the camera, and we're going to continue on for the last 20 minutes of this race. You saw an attack over there on the side, but coming through with 20 minutes to go. The break of 4, you might be able to see him right there. They had plenty of space. Zach Italia also went off the front. That might have been his break. They had plenty of gap, and so eventually I would like send a pretty good attack and bring Zach Italia's attack or gap back, and this is it right here. So hit it pretty hard, try to bring that breakaway of 2 back so that we're not sprinting for like 7th place. Once I figured out it was going to be a breakaway, here we're coming through the last lap, get the bell ring. I'm kind of at the back, so I've got to start moving up. Not a ton of people in this race, but enough to where you want to be at the front during the last lap if that's not obvious. And so we can see everyone here all together sprinting behind that 4th place. Caleb here, keep an eye out for him. He's going to make a pretty good move late, and so come through the U-turn, double first turn, and Zach Italia right there. Nice little pain face, full tongue out, and he is locked in. But I'm not doing too much power. We're kind of at the front now. I'm like in the Velocious train. Zach, you gotta keep your hands up. Zach was doing a good job being in one of his first big P123 races. So I'm pretty far up. Zach's pretty far up. I'm in the Velocious train pretty well there, moving. We got 32 miles an hour. So I'm pretty content as long as I can surf wheels and just spend the energy when it matters. But I'm going to stay up as far forward as I possibly can. There's no wave coming around us because we're coming so fast, but you can see Liberty there on the left and Maryland trying to take the inside of that corner, but we're going fast enough through it that I maintained position. Aaron pulling off there in their little lead out duties. This guy still on my wheel here, and this is where it's going to start getting pretty hectic. Caleb comes up the outside. This was a good move by him into this uphill corner, and he actually started kicking like right now around that turn. And I was on Che's wheel from King and kind of stayed on his wheel thinking he was going to close it down. I think Che stood up to kick and his legs were pretty locked up. Got that guy clipping pedals behind me. Did it again there. Seemed pretty disappointed in himself, but that's what happens. I had a cross bike, so was pedaling pretty comfortably through that. Came around Che there on that last corner. Caleb just in front of me, so got second in the field sprint and ended up 6th place. Nico winning, Cameron in 2nd. Hope you liked it. Thanks for watching. See ya.